Hello everyone, thanks for checking out my video. So this will be an advanced guide for how to use Awesome Miner and MiningPoolHub to mine using your CPU. Now, a few weeks back, I produced a video on how to mine with your CPU, but it was pretty basic, and most of the comments that I received were questions that were very advanced and required me to go into full-on tech support mode. And so I thought, given the nature of those questions, I would try and respond with this video, which basically will show you from soup to nuts everything that I can possibly show you about mining with your CPU. So by way of disclaimer, I just want to say that, I'm not an expert in this. I don't work for Awesome Miner. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not responsible for any damage that you do to your computer by following the steps in this video. Okay, you have to be responsible for what you do with your machine, and please pay very close attention to all of these considerations that I'm going to list for you now before even getting started. Okay, and with that in mind, this will be a more advanced video. If you're not comfortable with navigating through Windows, going through the File Explorer and making changes, then this might not be the video for you, in which case I would direct you to that one up there, which is the basic guide. Okay, but for everybody else who's holding on and ready to see how far this rabbit hole will go, let's get started. All right, so first thing, several considerations before we even get started. All right, the first one is, what brand is your CPU? All right, I know this one is like super basic, all right, but some people confuse AMD and Intel. It just happens, all right? I'm not gonna fault anyone for it, but if you're doing something like that, you may really want to reconsider whether or not this is for you. All right, so in my example here, I have an Intel processor, all right? The little blue, dun 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 dun, got it. Now, model, that's the next one, right? What is the model number of the CPU? And I'm not talking like, I got a Dell Inspiron T5100, no. I'm talking, what's the model number of the CPU in the Dell Inspiron T5100? You got to know that too, all right? That's the only way you'll be able to determine whether or not it's worth mining using that CPU, So on mine, it's an i7 6700K, all right? Now, the third step here, what's the architecture? Why do I even bother with this one? Well, I mean, really this has a lot to do with the age of the chip. All right, so the code name is Skylake, and that's built upon 14 nanometer lithography. So I'm not trying to sound smart by throwing these things at you, but really what this is telling us is what generation, okay? So we know right now we're on Coffee Lake, which is the 8th generation, okay? And before that it was Kaby Lake, which is 7th. And before that it was Skylake, all right, which is 6th generation. All right, so this is really just about age. All right, and the reason we are concerned with that is because of the fourth step here, which is the instruction sets, right? These two instruction sets can be very helpful in determining which mining software to use, all right? Some software can take advantage of these instruction sets to improve your hash rate. And that's why this advanced video is coming out, because I'm going to show you how to pick which one is the best for your chip. But we have to do this research first. It's the only way. All right, another thing to consider is the speed. All right, so this processor has 4.0 gigahertz base clock. All right, but I know a lot of people, especially with the K series chips, are overclocking them, okay, especially gamers and stuff. So if you're overclocking it thinking you're gonna get a lot more performance out of it, well, you gotta be very cautious with that, because mining will stress it to the max. You will have 100% usage while you're mining, which will raise the temperature, okay? So the higher your clock rate, the higher the temperature is going to be, which means that you have to consider this last aspect here, last but not least, your cooling solution, okay? So in my case, I have an aftermarket cooler, all right? It's a large Hyper 212 Evo cooler from Cooler Master, okay? It's not the stock cooler. The stock cooler, most people will tell you, well, first of all, this chip doesn't even come with a stock cooler. And second of all, if you are using a stock cooler, most of them aren't very good at dissipating the heat. All right, so you'd want to have some type of aftermarket cooling solution with larger fans, larger heat sinks, or if you're doing an AIO, something that is going to really do a good job of keeping things cool. All right, that's how you're going to protect your CPU. That's how you're going to prevent it from meltdown. You're going to prevent it from automatically shutting down. You know, the higher the temperature gets, there are thresholds where these things will just automatically shut themselves down. That was another one of the issues people were presenting in the comments. How come my computer keeps shutting down? Well, maybe you're mining on your laptop, which has you know, a fan that's this big. You know, it's not enough cooling for the CPU to be pushed all the way to 100%. So I would say right now, you if you're even considering using your laptop, you might want to reconsider that altogether, because they just don't have adequate cooling to do this. All right, so there you have it, some of the major things to consider. And now we got to do our research, right? So I have my chip, I know what it is, it's an i7 6700K, but now what I want to figure out is what instruction sets does this thing have? All right, what's it capable of? All right, and this is where Google is your friend. All right, so let's go visit our Google friend. All right, this is really simple. All you got to do, type in the CPU model number. All right, so I just typed in i7 6700K, right? And actually the first one that shows up here is this website, which is arc.intel.com. And you can see here it's listing the Core i7 6700K. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. What's really nice about this ARC website is that it gives you all of the information that you'd want to know about the chip. Okay, so you can see right down the line, we got 6th generation Intel Core. We've got, here's our code name, Skylake. All right, so we already know that. And then we also have our lithography. That's all kind of playing into the age. All right, but the next thing is how many cores, right? So we've got 4 cores here and 8 threads. All right, that's great. You know what I mean? Because, you know, 8 threads, that means it's going to have a lot of processing power. Okay, that's going to increase my hash rate. All right, so I'll be able to mine more using a processor like this. But if you just have a Core 2 Duo that's like, you know, 2 cores, 2 threads, then you're going to notice a significant decrease in your hash rate. It's not capable because it doesn't have enough cores to do the work. All right. The next thing here is our base frequency. We just talked about that, and so you got to consider cooling if you're overclocking, or if you want, you could even just underclock it or just put it right at its base clock while you're mining and then overclock it later for gaming. I mean, a lot of people can do that on the fly. Another thing is our instruction sets. So what we're looking for here, I'm going to scroll down. All right, and you're going to see right here, instruction set. First of all, it says 64-bit, and then it says instruction set extensions. All right, we've got SSE, SSE42, and then we've got this one, very important, Intel AVX2. This is one of those instruction sets that's taken advantage of by the mining software. Okay, so there's one. Now, the other thing it looks for is AES instructions, and you can see here under the security part, Intel AES new instructions, yes. All right, so we've got both. We've got AES here covered, and we've got AVX2 covered. All right, so that's good. It's a good sign. Let's suppose you're on the AMD side of things, okay? I have an AMD chip in another computer. In fact, it's this one here. It's the A10 7850K. All right, it's an APU. It has both pretty much like an Athlon 4-core processor in it, and then an R7 graphics card all in one chip. All right. And I was looking around, which website could I visit to get information about this? I did the same exact thing. I put in the model number up here. You can see A10 7850K. All right. But we get some funkier results here. We've got Passmark, which is good. It's basically going to tell you the performance of the chip, but it might not give you all of the information that you need. Newegg, that's a sales site, Amazon sales site. But here we go. Products.amd.com. Now we're talking. Now it looks like I might not get the English translation, but that's fine. So let's take a look at this one. I'm going to go ahead and use Google Translate here to translate everything into English from French. I don't know why it's giving me the French, but it might be because this is an older chip and it doesn't have everything available in English right now. So here's my A10 7850K, all right, and a couple of things that we're looking for then, right? How many cores? Well, number of CPU cores is 4, all right? So like I said, 4-core processor. No threads though. It's just, well, 4 threads, that's it. So 1 thread per core. And then number of cores GPUs, they got 8 GPU cores, which is all well and good, but we're not going to be utilizing those particular cores to do CPU mining, okay? They're separate, all right? And don't ask me if you can mine both using this chip. I'm not even going to get into that in this video. We're just going to look at the CPU side of it, okay? I probably wouldn't recommend doing both, even though you probably can. I just don't know how good it would be. Maybe in another video. So moving along, let's take a look at a few other things. We've got our core count, we've got our wattage. What else are we looking for? Instruction set, right? All right, here we go. Key features. AES compatible, yes, okay? And then the other thing here is it's got AVX. It doesn't have AVX2. All right, and that's important to take note of because we may need to use a different mining program for this one because it doesn't have the later version of AVX, okay? So right off the bat, we've got some important information about both of these chips. So how do we go about mining with them? Well, a few things. First of all, you're gonna need a program to do the mining, so I would recommend Awesome Miner. And the reason I recommend this is because it comes with all of the mining software that you need and it updates it for you. So you don't have to worry about digging around in GitHub trying to find something. You know, they do that for you, and whenever a patch is released, it downloads the updates. It does it automatically. If it realizes there's an updated version, it automatically downloads it for you so that you're always using the latest version, which is very helpful. All right, so go ahead and download this file right here, Awesome Miner Installer, which is the full program, and it comes with the CPU mining program, all right? And then install it. The next thing we'll need to do is set up an account over on MiningPoolHub.com, and this will be the pool that we're using to get the server information and everything to mine the coins that we're going to mine, all right? So when you register here, you see at the top it asks for a username. Just make sure you pick something that's pretty easy because you're going to type it in again later. You know what I mean? So don't go too crazy with numbers and capitals and all this. Just like make it very simple to type in because that's going to help you in the long run. All right, sign up here and then we'll go ahead and move along to the next step. Okay, after you install Awesome Miner, then you're going to have a couple of windows pop up like wizards to add a pool or to add a new miner. You can cancel the pool one, but leave the new miner one. And if you get to this part right here and you want to add a new miner, you just click this new miner button and you'll get the same wizard, okay? And that says add new miner. So we're going to go ahead and click on next, and you'll see here it asks you to select the miner type. So we've got a few choices here. The one that we're going to use is called managed miner, all right? And the reason I'm using managed miner is because we are going to customize this to suit our needs. All right, so let's click on managed miner and then click on next. And we're going to give it a name. I'm going to call it CPU because I want to know that this is the one that's mining the CPU. All right, miner host is local, that's fine. And device profile is none, that's fine as well. Click on next. All right. And up here on algorithm, so here's a question that we'll have to ask. What do we want to mine? Well, you could do some research on this yourself, but you'll find that CryptoNight algorithm is probably one of the better algorithms to mine with your CPU. And if we were to go over here to say MiningPoolHub, all right, on the main page, you would see somewhere in the algo, here we go, CryptoNight. So we can see already there's Manero, which is a good choice for our CPU. Let's see if there's any others here. So on this one down the bottom, let's take a look. Any other CryptoNight? There's Manero again. Here we go. Electroneum, that's another one. So my previous video was on Electroneum. Tell you what, This video is going to be on Monero, okay? So let's click on Monero. Here we go. So what we have here are the server settings for Monero, all right? And we'll come back to this after we finish setting up some of the things in Awesome Miner. So back over here on Awesome Miner, see how that says algorithm? All right, I'm going to click the down arrow here and I'm going to choose CryptoNight, all right, because that's the algorithm that Monero uses. All right, so this way we're telling the software already, you know, what kind of mining program we want to run. All right, because it knows CryptoNight, all right, we're going to use this mining program. All right, it's already starting to plug things in. Now, by coin is helpful too, because this will help give you a more accurate readout of what kind of profit you're making, okay? So here where it says coin, let's just scroll up to Monero. All right, there it is, XMR. And click on OK. All right, now, very important. See where it says software? We have to choose the CPU software. You can see all these other ones are GPU. See, GPU, GPU, GPU. We want CPU. This one right here says CPU miner-OPT. So make sure you select that one. It's the only one there that's made for the CPU. All right. And then you probably won't have this right here. See, mine says Electroneum. If you just installed this, you won't have anything there. So what we need to do then is add Manero to the pool, all right? So let's click on New, and where it says New Pool. Okay, so here is our Add New Pool window. Really basic stuff. Right here we're going to type in Monero-MPH for MiningPoolHub -CPU, all right? I add the MPH so I know which pool I'm dealing with, all right? That's just for my own, you know, you can put whatever you want. All right, and then really important, for here, the server URL, all right, you want to type this in, stratum, STRATUM, plus TCP, // okay? This is telling the mining software what protocols to use, all right? Now, we need the server address. So that's where we go back over here to MiningPoolHub, right here on the Monero page. Like, as soon as you click Monero, this is what pops up, server settings, you can't miss it, right? And they give us an address for the US, Europe, or Asia, all right? I'm in the US, so I'm just gonna go ahead and select this address. Make sure you select the whole thing, including the port number, all right? Right click, copy, get this out of the way, and then paste that here, all right? There we go, so full thing. All right, and then for your worker name, this will be the username that you chose on MiningPoolHub, right? So in my case, it's Goose-Tech, all right? And then we're gonna put a dot, and we're gonna name this. So this computer is called Big Red, and then I'm gonna put CPU, all right? You wanna make sure you don't duplicate your worker names. So this one I'm putting CPU instead of just straight out Big Red, so that I know for sure it's my CPU that's doing the mining. All right, over here on worker password, you're going to put an X. All right, pretty simple. And then optional settings, coin, same thing here. You want to set this coin to XMR or Monero so that we know, and Awesome Miner knows, that's what's being mined. All right, it gets all of its stats from whattomine.com, so there's a little bit of discrepancy. It's not 100% accurate, but it at least gives you some ballpark figure of what it is that you're mining, rather than, you know, some imaginary number. Honestly, you want to make sure you get it as close as possible. All right, so we're going to click on OK. So we've added our pool. This has pretty much been the same exact tutorial as the first one. When are we going to get advanced? Well, this is exactly it, right? You remember all that research we did on our processor to figure out what instruction sets it uses? Well, this CPU miner-OPT, this is not the program itself. This is actually a program suite. There's like 5 or 6 different mining programs that come with that as a package, you know? And each one of those programs is tailored to take advantage of different instruction sets. So at this stage, what we want to do is pick the right program for our chip based on whatever instruction sets we know it's capable of. All right, so how do I know this? Well, let me show you, because there's actually a README file that comes with it that will give you a lot of insight. So let me show you how to get there. First of all, you go down here to your File Explorer, and then click on the top bar here, and click on %, type in local app data, %, / awesome. Actually, you see it coming up already. See, awesome miner. Okay, I'm going to click that. Boom. All right, now this is our awesome miner folder where all of the mining software is stored. Okay, so all we have to do is navigate to here where it says CPU miner-opt. All right, let's open that up. And then here is the latest version they got. All right, let's open that up. And then look at this. Look at all these exe files. All right, look at there must be like 7 of them, 7 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 files in here. That's 8 different mining programs. Which one do we use? So it is going to get a little bit more advanced, right? Well, fear not. We have a README file to, if you're not familiar with this kind of a thing, then most of these programs come with some type of README file that's really read it. Read it. It has information that you might need. All right, so let's double click this. Oh, it looks like an absolute mess. I love it when they do this. Let's get rid of that. It's okay, guys. I edited it. I made a nice pretty version for you because I love you guys. All right, so look at this. All right, a few things to consider here right off the bat. AMD CPUs older tin Piledriver, including Athlon X2 and Phenom 2X4, are not supported by CPU miner OPT. Okay, so if you have an older AMD processor, sorry guys, it's a no-go. All right, if you have something a little bit more recent, and especially if you have a Ryzen processor, you should be in good shape. Most of the Intel stuff is covered at least as far back as the Core 2 series. Okay, so that's pretty substantial in terms of Intel, but unfortunately the AMD does have a cutoff. All right, and let's make some sense of these columns here. First of all, what we have here on the left-hand side is the executable name. So this is what program will be doing the mining. All right. And don't worry about compile flags. That's more advanced stuff. But here where it says architecture. Now, remember when I had you look up the architecture? Like, I wasn't messing with you. Like, there's a reason for that, right? It's right here. They put it here. Okay. And they're putting this so that we can identify which of these we should be using, right? So let's say, if I have an old Dell computer with a Core 2 in it, or a Core 2 Duo, right? Then I would know, I got to use CPU miner-SSE2. That's the one I want to use, right? Oh, okay. So if I'm running a Sandy Bridge, then I want to use the AVX one. If I'm using Haswell ... which means Haswell or later, so Haswell, Skylake, Kaby Lake, Coffee Lake, right? Then I'm going to want to use this one here, which has AVX2. Remember that was one of the instruction sets that we searched for? See, it's all coming together, right? This little README file, you would never have thought, but here it is. Everything coming together. Now, I know my chip, the i7-6700K, has both AES and AVX2. So that's what I'm going to use. That's the right one. Okay, so how do I tell Awesome Miner to use that one? I'm glad you asked. Let's take a look. Minimize this. All right, see right here in the middle of this miner wizard where you have automatic download or specify existing installation path? Click this one, specify existing installation path, and then we'll go ahead and browse for it. All right. Oh, look at that. It happens to open up right to the folder we want, but now we know which one to pick. Wonderful. So let's click this one right here, the AES-AVX2, and click open. All right. So now it is going to use the right one for my processor. All right. Go ahead and click on next and finish. Okay, here it is. It's called CPU. It's been set up with the Monero pool, and we're pretty much ready to mine. The only other thing left to do is to set up our wallet over on MiningPoolHub. Okay, back over on MiningPoolHub, where it says My Account, there's a link here for Wallet. So just go ahead and click on that. This is your online Manero wallet. So all of the Manero that you mine will go right in here where it says normal wallet. This number here will grow. All right, now it's not going to grow that fast with your CPU, but If you have other GPUs that are also mining Monero, then yeah, maybe it'll grow a little faster. That being said, since it's an online wallet, it's not the most secure place to store it, and once it gets to a sizable amount, however many days, weeks, or months that may take, you may ultimately want to store it offline in a desktop wallet. Right now, there aren't that many wallets that you can download from Manero, so I would recommend just getting Monero's wallet. You can get it right from their website. Just go to their downloads page and download it for your system, install it. And once you do, then it'll give you your wallet address. All right, so you would, it's a long number too. It's longer than usual, longer than Bitcoin. All right, so you'd want to copy that address, that full address right here where it says payment address, and then set your automatic payout threshold. So if you said, okay, well, whenever I get to point, 0.05, which is the minimum here, if you get to 0.05, then it will automatically send whatever's here to the external wallet. You could do that, and it's great because you don't have to think about it. You don't have to manually transfer it. You just put in your 4-digit PIN, click update account, and you've pretty much set up your wallet there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this. We're almost done. Before we can start mining with our CPU, we need to add the software to our antivirus exclusion list. Most CPU mining software is often flagged by antivirus software. The reason that is because some dishonest folks designed websites that when somebody would visit that website would automatically start mining Monero without them even knowing it. So this caused a lot of CPU mining programs to be flagged by antivirus software. So it's on most of the lists for antivirus software. In order to get around that, we just have to add it to the exclusion list. I can't show you how to do it for every antivirus program, but I'll show you how to do it for Windows Defender, which is the most basic one. Okay, so let's click on the arrow here to show the icons, and I'm going to double click the little shield. All right, and you see where it says virus and threat protection. We'll click on this, and then it says virus and threat protection settings. We'll click that, and scroll down. You see how I have exclusions here? So we're going to go ahead and click on the link to add or remove exclusions. And you can see I have awesomeminer.exe, awesomeminer folder, and I also have a virtual machines folder that I've added. So to add that, all you have to do is click this little plus sign here and click on folder. All right, and this is where you're going to type in what folder, okay? We'll go to the top bar here, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to type %local app data %. All right, and you see how you get this whole list right here? You can just go through the list. These are all the folders that are in there, and the one we want is Awesome Miner. Boom. Hit enter on that. And here is the entire list of all of the mining software that comes with Awesome Miner. We want to add this whole thing. This way, no matter what mining software we're using, we'll be in the clear. All right, so we'll go ahead and select folder. It'll give you this little pop-up. You click yes. And now it's added, okay? And once that's all done, you're good to start mining. So I'm going to go ahead and click on start. All right, so as you see right here, our difficulty is being adjusted. We started at 500,000, but it's coming down quickly, and the software is doing this automatically. Now it'll do this until it finally gets to a point where it's got a nice balance, and it's fine-tuning things based on your processor. Okay, so just be patient through this process. All right, it takes a while for it to finally get it to where it's supposed to be, and then when it is, you'll start to see a new readout will come up, say accepted, 1 out of 1, and you'll say, oh, okay. So what that means is that your share of hashing power has been accepted by the pool. All right, so now you're going to start getting credit for what it says right here, 110 hashes per second on the pool. All right, so now as you can see, as far as the price readout, we're just around $0.25 per day. So I think most people would look at that and say, yeah, that is absolutely not profitable to be mining right now. And I would have to agree. You're not even getting a quarter in value, right? And if we look down here, the cost of Monero is $346 for one coin. And that's a lot of the reason why this number is so significantly low, right? Because the cost of one Monero is so high. Now, in my previous video, when I showed you Electroneum, the cost of Electroneum is somewhere around 12 cents. And that means that you'll be able to mine a heck of a lot more Electroneum coins than you ever would Monero coins. So that may be something for you to consider, right? And just for the sake of the video of showing a comparison, let's go ahead and do that and see how much better we can do with Electroneum over Monero. So what I'm going to do is just stop this, all right, and then we're going to add an Electroneum pool, all right? So I'm going to click on New Pool, and description here, we're just going to type in Electroneum-mph-CPU. All right, server URL, we're going to type in the same thing as before, stratum plus TCP://. Now let's head back over to MiningPoolHub. Click on the little square here and look at our list and go to Electroneum. And here we go, server settings for Electroneum right on the first page. So I'm going to once again choose the one for my region, including the port number. All right, minimize this and paste that right here. All right, make sure that full address is there. The worker name, Goose-Tech dot Big Red CPU. The password is X, and we're going to set this coin to Electroneum. There we go. Click on OK. Now we just got to update this miner. So we right click it, go to properties. You see right here where it says mining pool. Let's just change that to Electroneum. There we go. And click on OK. All right. So now we've got two pools in here. We've got Manero and we've got Electroneum. Don't forget, if you're going to mine Electroneum, click on the wallet page, all right, and set this up accordingly. All right. Now, let's see how this one works compared to Monero. Our hash rate's going to be the same. All right, that's never going to change. See, 110 hashes per second. But look at this. I mean, we've gone from 22 to 25 cents all the way up to about 41 cents. So almost doubled, right? In terms of our pay per day, which is pretty good. If we take a look at the cost of one Electroneum, you can see here it is 0.136 cents, so a little over 13 cents per coin. And we're going to mine 40 cents worth of it every day. Okay, so if we wanted to do some quick math, all right, 0.40 divided by 0.13. That means that we would be mining roughly 3 coins per day. Pretty interesting stuff. Now look right down here. See where that says Manero? Here's the cost of Manero, $347. All right, and we were mining about 24 cents worth of Manero, all right, on average. So let's divide that out, all right, divided by 0.24. That is 1,447. So you know what that is? That's how many days it will take you to mine one Monero. All right. I mean, if you want to see that in another way, I could divide this by 365. All right, because it's such a big number. That gives us a little under 4 years to mine one Monero using the CPU. Whereas with Electroneum, at around 40 cents a day, right now, just because the cost of Electroneum is so low, we're able to mine at least 3 coins. 3 whole coins. And who knows what's going to happen with the price of Electroneum over the next 6 months to a year. If the price of Electroneum goes up, then those 1 whole coins that we've mined will go up. you know, so you could take advantage of a little bit of the mining bonus there in time. Okay, we're hashing away. You can see the profits per day. Our difficulty is continuing to be adjusted. It's just a matter of time before our share is accepted by the pool and we start mining Electroneum. So I think I've accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish with this video. I hope that you found it helpful. I mean, from start to finish, you know, we looked at what processor we had, the instruction sets of that processor. We downloaded Awesome Miner and signed up with MiningPoolHub. We set up our first miner. We added our first coin pool, and then we chose which mining program to use based on the instruction sets of our processor. So everything is as tailored as it can be using this method to mine at least Monero and Electroneum with the CPU. So if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to leave them down below in the comments. If you would like to see more videos, please subscribe and ding the bell so that you get future updates for more videos coming as soon as I can get them out. So thanks for watching, guys. God bless.